Hi, I'm Jenna.
And I'm Peter.
And welcome to the Path of Light Institute. Our work with the Michael Newton Institute. If you've spent any time researching Life Between Lives regression, you've probably encountered the name Dr. Michael Newton. His work had an enormous influence on the modern field of spiritual regression, particularly through his exploration of what clients describe as experiences occurring between incarnation. And that work eventually became associated with what is now known as the Michael Newton Institute, or MNI. Our own relationship with MNI has been an important part of our professional journey. And it's also relevant to the way we've developed our training at the Path of Light. I am trained as a Life Between Life practitioner through the Michael Newton Institute, and my involvement with MNI has extended beyond simply completing the training. I've also had the opportunity to work with the training process itself, including supporting and reviewing developing practitioners. That experience has been incredibly valuable because when you're reviewing sessions and helping students develop, you begin to see the difference between simply knowing a technique and truly understanding how to facilitate a regression. You see where practitioners commonly become uncertain, where they become too attached to a script, where they might unintentionally lead a client, where they miss something important that the client has just said. And you also see the beautiful moment when a practitioner begins to understand how to listen. That has influenced the way we teach tremendously. One of the things we emphasize is that regression is not about forcing someone to have a particular experience. And it is certainly not about manufacturing an experience that fits our own expectations. The practitioner creates the conditions for exploration. The client provides the content. That distinction is fundamental. Michael Newton became known for documenting thousands of cases and reports from people who, while deeply relaxed and in hypnotic states, described experiences they would interpret as occurring between physical lives. Whatever someone's personal beliefs about those accounts may be, the body of work opened fascinating questions about consciousness, identity, memory, and spiritual experience. And it created a methodology for exploring those questions through hypnosis. Life Between Lives regression is also different from standard past life regression sessions. Past life regression generally focuses upon experiences that arise as another lifetime or another identity. The client may explore relationships, significant events, emotional patterns, the circumstances surrounding a death, or insights that seem relevant for their present life. Life Between Lives work can go considerably further. The intention is to explore what may arise beyond the lifetime itself. Experiences clients may interpret as a spiritual realm, soul state, or existence between incarnations. People may report encounters with guides, teachers, soul groups, reviews of previous lives, questions surrounding purpose, relationships, lessons, or the direction of their present incarnation. These experiences can be extremely meaningful to the person having them. But again, our responsibility as practitioners is not to tell the client what they're supposed to find. It is to help them explore what arises. And this is one of the reasons that a solid foundational regression training matters so much. Before someone begins working with more advanced spiritual regression methods, they need fundamental skills. They need to understand hypnosis. They need to know how to deepen a client appropriately. They need to understand how to ask open questions. They need to experience navigating emotional material. They need to recognize leading language. They need to know how to respond when the session doesn't follow the expected route. And they need enough confidence that they're actually listening to the client rather than desperately searching through their notes for the next line. That foundation is something we care about enormously at the Path of Light. Our broader training pathway represents approximately 200 hours of learning, practice, and development. And our training serves as an accredited prerequisite career pathway connected with the Michael Newton Institute. That means students who ultimately feel called towards advanced Life Between Lives work can begin by developing the foundational skills required for that direction. But we also want to make something clear. Not everyone who studies past life regression needs to become a Life Between Lives practitioner. Past life regression is a valuable modality in its own right. Some practitioners will integrate into existing hypnosis practices. Some will combine it with coaching or spiritual counseling. Some may build an entire regression practice. And others will discover that this training is simply the beginning of a much larger journey for themselves. What our connection with M&I has given us is a broader perspective on that progression. We've seen the importance of foundational training. We've seen students move from uncertainty into competence. And we've seen why professional standards matter in a field dealing with experiences that can be deeply personal and spiritually significant. Because extraordinary subject matter requires more responsibility from the practitioner and not less. We have to remain curious without being suggestive, open without being careless, compassionate without being imposing or interpreting for them, and spiritually receptive while still remembering that the experience belongs to the client. Those principles are central to the way we work. They're also part of what makes this field endlessly fascinating. After conducting many regression sessions, you might imagine that eventually they would begin to feel repetitive, but they don't. And every person's inner landscape is different. Every person's questions are different. And every person's way of experiencing hypnosis is different. Some sessions are intensely visual. Others are emotional. Some are quiet and subtle. Others unfold almost like an extraordinary story. And occasionally, you witness a moment when something seems to shift within a person. They suddenly understand a relationship differently. They see an old pattern from another perspective. They feel connected to something larger than the identity they walked into the room with. Those are the profound moments that we get to witness. And they remind us why the practitioner must approach this work with humility. We're not creating those experiences for people. We're accompanying them while they explore. That philosophy connects our own work, our teachings at the Path of Light, and the professional development we've experienced through the Michael Newton Institute. For someone considering entering this field, I think it's important to understand that this can become a journey. You may begin because you're fascinated by hypnosis, then you discover past life regression, and then you begin working with clients and realize how much there is to learn about consciousness. Perhaps eventually you're drawn towards life between lives work. And suddenly what began as curiosity has become a profession. And sometimes a calling. Our role at Path of Light is to give you a strong foundation for that journey. To teach you skills, to give you opportunities to practice, to help you understand the principles behind what you're doing, and to encourage you to remain curious, open, because ultimately none of us has reached the end of exploration of consciousness. There is still so much we don't understand. And perhaps that's exactly what makes this work so compelling. We are exploring one of the greatest mysteries available to us: the human mind, consciousness, and the question of who we may be beyond the boundaries of the life we currently know.